All right. So, as a lot of you will know, big fan on building an account hypothesis, especially when we're going into a discovery call, helps us build trust, earns the right to run really thorough discovery, deep discovery, and helps us get to the problem faster and get into a decent conversation and hopefully drive consensus that the status quo is no longer fit for purpose and we should do something about it. You can also use this when you're prospecting. If you're a mid market or an enterprise rep and you've got a smaller list of accounts, you haven't got thousands and thousands of prospects, and you want to do a really good job going into those accounts and increasing your conversion rate, you could actually do this exercise when you're going outbound. But let me take you through my discovery call planner approach when you're using ChatGPT. And I'm continuously building with this because obviously AI is new, right, to a lot of us. We didn't have access to this years ago when I was a seller. So I used to do a lot of this manually. So I just wanted to share some of this stuff with you. So let me give you, and there's a couple of prompts I'm going to take you through. So make sure you watch this thing through to the end. So let me give you an example. The first prompt: using this framework below, help me prepare for an upcoming discovery call. I'm a sales rep working at, and let's just pretend I work at gong.io. If nobody doesn't know what gong.io is, go Google it. Conversation and revenue intelligence tool. And I'm meeting with the VP of sales at HiBob. If you don't know HiBob are, go and Google them. They're one of the leaders in HR tech, and that's where I spent some of my career as a salesperson and as a sales leader, not at HiBob, but selling HR tech. And then the final part of this prompt is add market insights as well as challenges that industry might be facing. This is going to help me prepare for a call, and it's going to give me maybe 50-60% of what I need at this stage, which for me, that's probably where AI is going to land. It's never going to give us 100%, I don't think, anyway, not yet. And then here's the template or framework we're referencing at the top. So company name, industry role, and then the hypothesis structure. Okay. And then you're going to hit enter, and it's just going to get to work. Basically, it's obviously reading the web, but it's kind of plugging in some of these variables. So company name is HiBob, HR tech company, VP of sales is the role, hypothesis. So given that HiBob operates in the HR tech space, they're likely facing challenges around sales team efficiency and data integration, such as inefficient processes, data fragmentation, scalability issues as companies grow. Maintaining an efficient sales process becomes complex without proper tooling. The VP of sales is probably focused on improving operational efficiency and increasing revenue through sales strategies. That's pretty spot on, I can imagine. My hypothesis is that HiBob is looking for a solution to help streamline those processes, give them better visibility into data, forecasting, that kind of stuff, to provide actionable insights from their sales interactions and make more informed decisions. So that's pretty interesting. So I could probably run outbound to a lot of this. Hey, typically when I speak to VPs of sales at HR tech companies like HiBob, they usually have issues here or here. This is kind of how we help. Think it makes sense to chat. So that could work on a cold call as well. But here we're talking about discovery. So market insights. So I know this for sure. Like HR tech is every year gets more competitive. So that's interesting. Remote work trends. That's also interesting. Focused employee experience. That's also interesting. These are just conversation points, right? And things for me to bring up into a conversation to help me run better discovery, but also come across as a trusted advisor. So that's the first prompt. Now, the second prompt that I really like is this one. So let me grab it here. Okay, so the caveat with this prompt is they have to be hiring. So now tell me which problems they might be facing based on this job description. And then I just found that HiBob are hiring. So I copied and pasted the text from the job description. Okay, because the thing about job descriptions is people hire people for a reason. It's not because they've got some money left over in the year. They're like, hey, let's just spend some money, right? They don't do that. They hire people to come in and drive train change or do something. And usually in the job description, if you look at it properly, they're usually outlining the problems and the focus points that the business is working on that they're hiring that person for. So that can usually help us in the discovery conversation. So I'm just going to hit enter on this. ChatGPT, it's doing its thing. It's reading through it and it's like giving me a couple of points here. Okay, cool. So if I'm Gong, maybe I'm looking at things like sales cycle complexity, long sales cycles dealing with enterprise clients, usually over 1,000 employees. Those deals can take months to close. What are you doing to get insights and visibility into those opportunities? Maybe that's a pain point for them. Gong can help them solve that, right? Pipeline management, how are they managing deals in the CRM and are they doing that effectively? How are they maintaining insights on market competition? Gong can obviously give them visibility into those call recordings, so they can keep their ear close to the ground, and some other bits and pieces, right? So that's quite useful as well. So it's basically just reading the job description and maybe calling out some stuff that's relevant for that conversation. And then finally, you can also do some stuff with annual reports. But here's another thing that you can do for the third prompt. And again, caveat with this one is it's based on funding news, so they have to obviously just raise some money. But the final prompt is, finally, what can you tell me that is relevant from this report that would align with what I sell at gong.io? And it's basically a report about HiBob raising $150 million. And then it says, HiBob recently secured $150 million to enhance its HR product suite and accelerate their global expansion growth. Relevance to Gong, data-driven decision-making. Gong's capabilities in capturing and analyzing sales interactions aligns well with HiBob's focus on data-driven solutions. Sales efficiency, so HiBob's emphasis on agile and flexible processes complements Gong's mission to optimize their sales workflows and performance insights, particularly in that hybrid environment. So these are just really good insights. I'm going to compress this into a discovery pre-call plan so that when I go into that conversation back at the top here with the VP of sales at HiBob and I'm a rep at gong.io, I might not have 100% of the information. It's kind of a discovery call, so our job is to find that out anyway on a conversation. But it's going to help me piece a couple of things together so that when I go into that conversation, I can get into the problem fast. I can get into what's causing the problem, the root cause, and then I can start to quantify the impact to understand, is this a deal that's going to go somewhere fast or slow or not at all? And then I can start to line back in the different use cases and how I can solve that problem with my differentiators and drive a next step. So I hope this is helpful. If you've got any other ways that you're using ChatGPT or AI to prepare for upcoming discovery calls, I'd love to hear them. Big fan of using AI in this area. I think this is the beauty of AI. It's enhancing us rather than replacing us, right? So I hope this was helpful. Love your feedback on it.